Good evening, ladies and gents. This is Nerdy Human, and welcome to this Britannia campaign from Medieval 2 Total War, where of course, we'll be playing as the Rebels. Now, the Rebels are not in a particularly great spot. As you can see, they only have themselves these 4 settlements here out in the western side of modern-day Scotland. Indeed, 2 of them are completely isolated, and we don't have any boats at the beginning, so problems ahoy, suffice to say. I do think this is going to be one of the trickiest and possibly the trickiest campaign for the Rebels that I have tried so far, for a multitude of reasons, to be honest. If I give you a quick reminder of where the world is on this game, well, we have England, you can see here, jutting through the middle of Ireland and pretty much comprising of all of modern-day England, bit of Wales there in Cardiff. The Welsh, as we see, are controlling most of Wales, but to be frank, not much longer in real history. If we start looking at Scotland, they're doing all right, but the Norse are scattering islands around, or they're taking over scattered islands, I should say. The Norwegians do start with piles and piles of reinforcements in the early game, so they could cause problems for our attempts over here. They'll definitely be wanting to take all of our rebel settlements. So this is going to be tricky, suffice to say. I do have, though, a plan or two up my sleeve to desperately attempt to win out on this one. It says hold 35 regions. I need to have London, Perth, Dublin, Carnarvon and Castletown, the capitals of each of the different factions. So no biggie then, just take over the entire map. Well, that's going to be interesting. So onto the Rebels, of course. They don't have themselves a proper map for the campaign. Let's get started.
Britannia, a land of emerald isles, a land of kings, a land of war. England. King Henry sits upon a hungry throne, thirsty for more land. The Norwegians. Warriors happy to pay the blood price for their ambitions. Scotland. From the Highlands and across the Lowlands comes a spirited people ready for battle. Wales, a people of song and sword, and leaders that will bend their knees to no man. And Ireland. Suspicious of his neighbors, the Irish warrior never sleeps, though he dreams of conquest. Britannia. 1 realm, 5 kings, total war.
Here we are then with the few rebel lands we have, and straight away a couple of the biggest problems you'll notice is that both Islay and Skye have themselves significant armies, but they are somewhat marooned on their islands. We have no boats until any spawn in, and unlike on the Americas campaign where I didn't actually change the spawn rate, I have done that here. They will hopefully eventually appear, but most likely be sunk by all of the Norwegians around here. Now, Norway do get a big bonus early on, as I said, so we are going to have to be careful, but equally there's not much we can do with these islands in the short term other than hold out until a boat arrives. So these armies, unfortunately, whilst I would quite happily get rid of these islands and just head over to Scotland, no, I can't do anything with them. So in the short term, these guys will have to hold out. We've got ourselves a very high tax rate here on Islay. It's our only town, so that's probably what we're going to have to stick with. Now, in terms of our tactics, well, is going to have to be between these two over here, Inverlochie and Dunstachnach, which I'm sure I'm butchering the pronunciation of, but there we are. Now, you can see here we can actually hire troops. One big problem on the rebel campaigns is we quite often can't hire very much, but normally that's down to culture, and it's hard to understand what's going on. Luckily, in this DLC, one thing they were really focusing on was the culture, and you can actually see a breakdown here of what it's like. Presumably, if this was more Norwegian, we would hire more Norwegian troops. I'm pretty certain that our places so far are pretty much Scottish rather than Norse. This one might be a bit more Norse. No, it's still Scottish. That's interesting. Islay, I think, is the mixed one. There we are. Norwegian, Irish, but just majority Scottish. Now, that will give us access to different troops. So we'll see that as they pop up. Now, as I say, in terms of our actual plan for this campaign, well, what we want to do, obviously, is take out a faction early. It's always the best way to play as the rebels who pick up whatever cities or whatever other armies are floating around, and that will let you steamroll or snowball. That's probably the line I'm looking for. Now, there are only a few factions to kill, and England are huge and scary, and there's not much we can do. Oh, by the way, we do have some random troops in forts here or there, but not a huge amount. Now, this guy over here, oh, there's actually quite a bit we can do with these guys. So, okay. Carlisle. Very tempting, but to be honest, Carlisle is virtually empty. What we're going to do instead is head over to Dumfries. Now, Dumfries is not a big town, but it is a town of Scotland, and indeed Scotland are going to be my main target here. Mainly because England are, well, England are big, they are a bit weak, but England can, they're just a bit too much for me to handle straight away, if I'm honest. But Scotland have themselves, well, Inverness up at the north here. They have a line of cities here, Aberdeen, Perth, Edinburgh, Glasgow, but then Dumfries is a little bit isolated. These two, in theory, can hold on for a little while, whilst we try and swing some armies together. What I probably want to do, I'm tempted to give up Inverlochy, but it's probably not the best idea. What I might do is send some of the rabble down here. Not the rabble, the Highlanders. But these lads down here are going to join up with these chaps and head to Glasgow, which I think will be the best plan. Carlisle isn't worth anything to sack, so we're just going to leave it. But we do want to head, hopefully, over to Glasgow in the next few turns. Inverlochy, I reckon with what we've got here and Motte and Bailey Castle, we might be able to hold off small attacks, but probably not a lot more than that. Skye, as I say, and Islay will have to hold on, and yes, Dunstafnach over here. Yeah, we're going to have to wait until we can head into Glasgow. By the way, if you're wondering this unpronounceable name here, Dun is just fort in Gaelic. So, and then the Staffnick actually comes from the Norse for something to do like headland of the staff. So, yeah, a nice big jutting out headland over here, I suppose. So that's where the name comes from, even if I have no idea how it's supposed to be pronounced. If you can probably guess, I'm not from Scotland, so I've been looking into some of these places and some of the history as I play this, but I don't know a huge amount of it myself. I haven't been to Scotland very much, been to Edinburgh, Aberdeen, but not an awful lot more. I'm much more from down in the south of England, so yeah, I don't know much about all of this nonsense, but we will learn more as we get playing. If I'm honest, there's not a lot I can do on this end term. One import, I was supposed to use that army. Okay, well immediately I've wasted that army over here. You know what, we'll use that as a little example because I wasn't going to do a lot with that. All I was likely to do with that, yeah, was meet up with other rebellious armies. So, now these lads over here, we're going to head over to what I assume... Okay, yes, so we have some forts. I'm going to head into the fort. Now, important point, forts on this game are of course stone forts. I do have a video if you want to get your own stone permanent forts, but they are probably tougher than a lot of the early castles because they are wooden. So in many ways, holding up these castles are not the worst idea in the world. So, okay, so we'll sit here by the Great Ooze and we'll choose our next movement. So to remember where we can go. We'll see what happens over here. Oh dear. See, this is exactly what we're looking for with the rebels, obviously, is we're waiting for opportunities to emerge, and I suspect Dublin will rebel in the next few turns. It pretty much always does. Of course, there is the Barren Alliance to worry about, but not until after turn 8. Again, there's a video on the Barren Alliance if you want to play as them, but until turn 8, they can't appear from the English, so no need to worry about any of that. Aha, the army at Dumfries actually out in the field. That is perfect for us. Okay, we can take those guys on. I got a claymore for you here, Jibby. Yeah, I'm going to enjoy some of these accents here and here. Okay, in we go. They are going to want to take us on because, of course, they do. We're rebels. Now, 2-town militia, Highland Rebel, Highland Archers. Oh, this is just perfect. Then we can stroll into the town next time. Move on to Glasgow. Okay, yeah. Tactic 1 as rebels. Get yourselves together. Don't worry about losing land in the background if it means that you can barrel forward. Part of the reason I'm not worried about... part of the reason I'm leaving some troops in Ivaloki is because I don't want anyone to stumble into Dust of Nach until we can get those troops over to Glasgow. But for now... Actually, can they even get around? Not sure they can. We'll have to work that one out in time, but for now, let's head in for the Battle of Dumfries. 12 Highlanders and a bagpipe make a rebellion, say the Scots. Now, are we going to get ourselves a beautiful, beautiful speech? Potentially we will, probably not. Normally the rebels, unfortunately, aren't very interesting for all of that kind of nonsense. I'm feeling I don't have the subtitles on. Maybe. Oh, we do.
It's a wonder our foes found the battlefield.
Ah, lovely. Yeah, and I think that's all we're going to get. Now, I have had a few videos on some fun speeches from Rome. I don't think they're quite as good in Medieval 2, but they are amusing for the insults, if nothing else. No particularly interesting positions for us to take up. Now, our infantry is entirely peasants. That's fine, I guess. Unfortunately, I've been playing a bit of Rome recently. So I'm going to have to get used to the speed of movement once again, and also remember that these missile troops are not as good as they should be. So I think what we'll do is we'll try and shuffle around to get the high. Actually, are they a bit down? They are a bit downhill. If we can rush forward, okay, we'll rush forward to the high ground. Just going to use the cavalry early on to hit these Highland archers. I was thinking they might run away, but they didn't. Interesting. Right, we'll just hopefully hold them up so we can get into position for the rest of the army. That's any time you want to... No, get out of there, you utter fools. Okay, we really don't want them to die. We just want them to do a bit of damage. Fine, Highland archers broken. That's good. We managed to get... Yeah, we got people into position. That's what we want to see. Okay, peasants... Hold still. No special ability. Makes it look like they've got a shield wall, but there is nothing that they are able to offer. Town militia in the rear. All missiles, quite frankly, can just start on them. Don't really care where you are at this point. Yeah, let's just get the cav out to a flank. And you guys go off that for a moment. Try and get a little bit of a charge in. And, okay, the rest of them... Oh, interesting. Okay, they seem distracted by our cav. That's fine by me. Then we'll hit those guys in the flank. Oh, this is good. This is really working in our favour right now. I'm quite happy with all of this. You have broken them. Oh, that is just perfect. That is perfect news. Okay, you hit them. You get out there. Actually, cav, pull out. Pull out, you utter fools. Right. Okay, we've broken them. You goes off defense as well. Okay, and as we pin these guys, we will finish them off with a charge in the rear. Honestly, they are melting. This has gone spectacularly well, all missile troops. Honestly, stop at this point and just start running them down. Yeah, we're done. We're done. Sheer numbers has absolutely crucified them. Captain Morcar with a beautiful, beautiful victory for us there. 48 men lost to 416 of theirs. Now that's how we want to start this campaign. And down goes our first victim. And we have plenty more legs on us to head over to the city. We can get ourselves a couple of rams. Oh, just some rabble in there. That is perfect. And yeah, you can see the breakdown of the various different cultures. So, yeah, there are a couple main things they're doing really on this game where to do with the cultures. They have the stone forts. In fact, to be honest, this DLC is so rich with amazing experimentation. They just tried so many things around these days. Honestly, like this whole DLC, the four of them together, the kingdoms, were like 20 quid. And the amount of amazing ideas they trialled out were just spectacular, really, the golden age of Total War here. I just absolutely love it. And to be honest, there's quite a lot of other things we probably need to discuss, which is to do with the other thing that they do on this, which is reinforcement armies, which is not good news if you're the rebels, because when we get near to killing factions, they will immediately spawn whole new armies, which is not really what we would like to see. So we'll have to deal with that one in time. Our military is 50% of England's. That's nice, isn't it? That's nice. My diddly diddly dee, armoured swordsman. Yeah, on this, our rebels can hire all sorts of really good units, which is marvellously good news. So, okay, English knights, that's marvellous. Armoured swordsmen, that's also the kind of thing we want to see. Let's get those lads straight up in this direction. I really need to make sure they don't run into anyone, but there we go. Carlisle is not going to worry about us. We'll catch up with the Dumfries lads very soon. Oh, this is lovely stuff. Now, yeah, we can't actually get around to Glasgow that way. Fine, fine, fine. Does that mean we're actually fairly safe apart from a naval attack? I guess it does. We'll leave one Highland. It's not even worth leaving one, really. But I guess we will. I guess we will. You guys get yourselves over here. Alright, I maybe miss bit of a misfire on that one. So we'll send our troops up to Inverlochy instead and head from Inverlochy down here. But I might still leave some troops just to ward off a basic attack, especially if we've got plenty of other units around. Okay, so we are under siege over here. I'm looking forward to seeing how that one goes. We'll hold out in that fort there. And otherwise, we'll just keep an eye on the Norse. They have quite a lot of forces over on the Isle of Man in Castletown. They could cause us problems yet. Let's keep an eye out for random spawning armies. No sign of it up in the Orkneys either. Fine. It's a new turn, it's a new day, and we're going to send some lads forward to do a bit of scouting over here. That will be nice. Okay. Nothing too interesting right now. Inverlochy is definitely safe. Now, the Isle of the Skye over here in the north, well, we are now going to be under attack. We will absolutely slaughter them. Okay, Norse archers, no need to... Well, they can be troublesome. I'd quite like to have them on my side, but I've got some Highlanders for the time being. Islay, the Queen of the Hebrides, is safe for the time being, and Morcar will soon head into there with the reinforcements. Well, they can make it to the edge of the town. Isn't that marvellous? In fact, our random fort up in the north here has actually been relieved, which is good news. Let's go and grab the watchtower like traditional rebels. That's a good play. Now, this is nice, actually, because they've got so much of this stuff around, of this infrastructure, that we can go and grab it. Isn't that lovely? I'm actually going to leave one peasant behind just to do the traditional job of standing on there. We're going to move to the next fort. Trying to think what this would be. My brain can't work it. Oh, there's Nottingham. I should have thought about that. Can we deal with that? We should not have gone that way, although there isn't really much of an other way to go. Okay, Nottingham would have been fine if there wasn't an army in the way. We'll see if they attack us. If they don't attack us, then we'll go around them, because honestly, Nottingham's a bit much for me to take on. That, yeah, technically the capital right now. It's a fortress, and we don't need to take that on. Why is that the capital rather than London? Interesting. I suppose, yeah, lots of different capitals during all of the different years. We haven't had a rebellion in Dublin yet. I'm quite upset about that. Oh well, time to head into Dumfries then. Should be simple enough. Just one lad in there. Let's take him out. At this point, it just comes down to a simple shooting gallery, and we will see just how brave they are. Indeed, they are brave enough to actually come and charge us, which is interesting. So we'll just pull out our lads out the front here. Anytime they want to actually listen to the instruction. Do you want to run away? Anytime, my good sirs. Okay, fine. So we'll just send in these peasants to hit them in the flanks. All missiles, please stop. That would be grand. They weren't that brave. And with that, our first settlement. No need to sack it, really, is there? No, it's going to be miserable, but it was always going to be thus. Okay, we'll just put it on very high for now. We'll smash up the church. Cultural conversion. No need to worry about that. Bonus to law. No need to worry about that either, although it might well make a difference to what we can hire. So I'm going to leave the town watch for now. Okay, that's a good start. We can head forward towards the fort in good time. That'll be lovely. Alright, things are starting to come up, Millhouse. The first war has been declared, Scotland and Norway. That's just what we want to hear. Hopefully they'll be stuck in a big war between Wick and Inverness, and we won't need to worry about either of them at all, hopefully. Now, yes, now you're going to die if you attack us. Now that's why I want Inverlochy to be nicely defended like that. We're going to continue slowly plodding towards Glasgow, which currently is quite empty, possibly because they've sent an army over here. Oh dear, it does look awfully like you have decided to come and get yourself killed. Okay, they've retreated. We should still take them out anyway. We'll come back to that in a moment. Let's just see what else is going on around the map here. Still nothing in Ireland. This is ridiculous. Now, we apparently have... Oh no, we got this watchtower. I was going to say, why can we see this in it? But we got the watchtower. That's fine by me. Now, okay, we are not going anywhere fast in this part of the world. Let's just go the long way round. Oh dear, this is not what I planned for over here. Now, what we can do is take out some of the squishy towns, which is kind of what I'd like to do. We're going to go take that fort. We're actually going to head down this way instead. Join up together. That'll be marvellous. Okay, so the English troops are going okay. Nothing to be seen over here. Now, this is where the difficulty does matter to the rebels. If we're playing as the rebels on very hard, we will definitely get less troops popping up. So picking the difficulty does matter quite significantly, as well as the usual kind of nonsense in terms of difficulty. Now, turn 4 is already starting to scare me because... Firstly, I was expecting to get Dublin before the Barren Alliance trigger after turn 8, so I'm a bit concerned that we're not going to get that in time. Skye is under siege. They have got themselves some equipment. They've also got themselves a general and a backup army. In fact, Norway gets huge amounts of reinforcements for the first 15 turns or so, and then after that, it just loses money. The King's Purse disappears, so minus 2,500 after turn 15 and minus 5,000 from turn 20 onwards as Norway. Basically, they don't have the backing from the homelands anymore. So Norway are interesting in that sense. They're very strong at the start. Unfortunately for us, the rebels, you do need to be quite aggressive, and particularly in our case, we're going to have to be, because a lot of the reinforcements that happen on this game are triggered after certain times into the game. Now, for example, there is a last stand bonus, which you may or may not know about, but it's in the game files, and after turn 15 it activates. If they have less than 4 settlements, they get a huge 10,000 monies given to them. So, and I don't know if that's every turn or it's just when they go down to 4 settlements, but either way, before turn 15, that last stand bonus doesn't happen. So we've got time in those first 15 turns to hopefully get a lot of damage done, or at the very least take out one faction, hopefully Scotland. On which note, time to head into Captain Morgan and take him down. Pretty flat battlefield, as you might well expect near the coast. Of course, Captain Morgan is hiding out at the port. Unfortunately for him, he didn't bring his ship, and with no ship is no rum, and no rum means these lads will have no courage. So in we go. To be honest, it looks like they want to come straight into us, which is an interesting, if very foolhardy decision. Fine. We're going to get some cavalry out to the flanks. In fact, I might well send some of my archers out as well. Generally, the best way to use missile troops in Medieval 2 is to let the slogging match happen and then get around the flanks with your missiles. Can't really remember what they have. They have some pikemen at the front. Rabble. Highland archers. Right, yeah, we need to get some lads around the back now while we have the chance. They have better range than I remember. Highland rabble in the flank doing their filthy work, and it's fine. We're going to lose a few men. I've actually got the peasants at the front because I want the peasants to take the brunt, or I should say, with the peasants at the front after the crossbowmen, who are taking a few early pot shots. Fine, you guys shoot into those pikemen, you guys shoot into those rabble, you lads get into there, and these lads can just do their filthy work. Honestly, the Hobblars are plenty enough to do with all of that. Peasants just hold ground. I've got the better troops at the back just to make sure that we hold them, keep them safe for another battle. That probably matters a little bit more. Okay, you guys get into the flanks. You guys get into the flanks. That'll be fine. In fact, you just hit these lads. That'll be fine. Those cav will chase them off. They've broken instantly. And honestly, I think the rest of them are going to break pretty soon as well. I'm actually going to send these guys in to just make sure that we mop them up. Honestly, I think all missiles should probably stop at this point and just run over here. There we are. There's the break. Pull out before they feel too trapped. Hide and rabble there. Okay, it's pretty much gone. They're fighting to the death, so you should probably give them an escape route so that they're not going to fight to the death. Come on, let them out. 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 Give them a route to flee, and then we can chop them down properly. Right, all infantry, pull back. Come on. Need to give them. This is one thing that I think a lot of people do miss on Medieval 2, particularly more than Rome, is that if units do feel like they got nowhere to flee to, they will just keep fighting, and that's not ideal for you. So, there we go. We've taken them out with our English, Scottish, rebel knights, whatever they are at this point. And there is the battle. Okay, and now we've got the official breaks that we can actually flee. Yeah, just be careful with fighting to the death. They don't fight very well, but there's no need to lose men when you don't need to be. These guys are still apparently fighting to death in spite of the... Yeah, in spite of the weird situation that they're supposed to have completely ran at this point. But it is what it is. Another day, another brutal victory, and oh, it is lovely when you get some troops together like this. You can get the big early victories you need to just whittle down their forces. Now, we can head over towards the fort. Lovely stuff. And can we make it to Glasgow next turn? We can. Oh, that's nice. Now, this army has actually been good enough where if we are sensible about this, we might just be able to get Glasgow without having to take on Edinburgh, Stirling, Perth, all of those others around here, because they're actually quite close by. The fact that we can hold on to Inverlochy, hopefully, is a very good sign indeed, and whatever happens to this, happens to this. I do have a mission to reinforce it, but I'm not particularly bothered at this moment in time. We don't have a very good view on Castletown, which suggests that they probably have sent some of their troops out on a boat. Quite where, I don't know. They honestly could have gone anywhere. Interesting that they're not going for us right now, or at least not going for Islay just yet. But Skye, well, I think we're going to have to face them in the end turn. And apparently there is an army down at Dunstundnash, which is unfortunate because the Inverlochy army is currently busy. So maybe I should have listened to my elders. We ambushed them. They know nothing of it. Brilliant. Well, looks like we are going to have a problem. Let's just... Yeah, I think we've lost the scout. Oh, well, that is what he was there for. Unfortunately, he's going to lose and die. Time, though, to head into Captain Valdemar and Gelachavs. My Norse is not great. All I do know is Skål to drink, and we will drink tonight when we defeat these lads. It's saying that they have the upper hand, but I'm not sure they do. One ram and one ladder. Not looking great for them at all. No siege equipment with them. Fine. 3 units of archers. Oh, you're going down. An interesting affair this, because they do have reinforcements that could really help them, but they're at the far side of the castle with no siege equipment of their own. So we are going to have fire arrows on the ram coming from the tower. I doubt they'll work. However, we will start shooting them from here as well. So disable fire at will, but do shoot that ram. You lads all please shoot at these Viking raiders who are coming into you. As for this rebel over here, you might have noticed they exist. They're here for a very specific purpose, and that's to make sure that if these guys want to come round to join, we can run around the towers and keep them active, which seems like a eminently sensible thing to do. Honestly, I swear fire arrows are completely terrible unless you have about 4 units shooting. But yeah, the rams don't seem to burn down, particularly on very hard, but we will see. Maybe we'll get lucky. That is a very, very good set of arrows, but it is snowing pretty heavily, so I suspect they will get away with their ram, which is a bit concerning because our best chance really, is our best chance to burn this thing down. It probably is, you know. Probably is. You probably should just go to a bit of fire for a moment, see if we can get what we need. Right, well, these Viking Raiders have had a fair bit of damage, but not as much as I was hoping. Really, only a bit more than a handful. So this ram, okay, can we actually shoot it from over here? We should be able to. I'm going to run over here and see if we can get some shots on it, because we haven't burnt it down yet, and I'd like us to. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to manage it. Fine, fine, fine. Shoot the semi-axemen because they are very, very, very good, but their shields seem to be on their back right now, so let's just let those lads die. Can't really see what's their arrow or what's snow, to be honest, but, you know, is what it is. Over here, are they coming towards us? No, they're still staying put. That's fine. We don't need to worry about any of that right now. They are, though, getting the ram sorted out, so I'm going to get my lads over here and these lads over here. And as you can probably guess, we've got the general up their hill, ready to charge on down, assuming he's not a complete numpty. With the gate open, though, I suspect this is where the other army are going to start moving. So you guys, we'll put the peasants on hold. The rest of you can stay as you are. Okay, these lads have fended off the attack from there. Honestly, actually, don't get down just yet. Stay up there. Stay up there. Viking Raiders, you head in. Peasants, you head in. They are... I don't know how happy they're going to be about all of this, but apparently they are... Okay, they're going to pile in. We can still shoot these guys in the back, actually. So that's fine by me. We are going to... Right, let's get the charge in from the general. These guys will get them off the wall in a moment when we get the opportunity. As for these lads, yeah, they are now starting to move. They're starting to move. Okay, make your way around the towers. Just keep them being shot. In fact, we could make some very good use of these archers over in this part of the world, actually. So I'm going to put these lads over here, and they can do some good filthy work on the reinforcements. General's charging in. And that's, hopefully, yeah, we've got a break on there. Semi-axemen at the front. Oh, I don't like that, but can we break them? And break the semi-axemen, because they're the ones who really need to go down. My general is an old lad. There we go, there we go. And that should be what we need. General, pull out of there for the moment. There we go, semi-axemen are down. That's what we needed to see. Right, the main army at the front gate look like they are going to be defeated. There we are. Norse archers are down as well. No more fire arrows. Just get your shooting on. Norse archers, by the way, very, very effective infantry. 9 and 12. Can't argue with that. They're pretty darn solid all around. So, time, I think, my good sirs, to head in, General, and slaughter them. And that means these other archers. Yeah. I don't know why you're not moving, but apparently you're not, because obviously that would be really, really helpful if you were to bother. Okay, we are following these lads around pretty nicely. We've got these two towers on, which is what we want to see. And these archers, okay, these archers are, you know what? No, you know what? You're ahead of the game. You get yourselves over here. That's what we want to see. Good news indeed. And those Highland archers, they can come over to this position and get some shots in over here. Oh, this is nice. You do some filthy, filthy work. Mopping up at the gates right now, I assume. Okay, we're piling out, which we weren't... I was only supposed to send the general out. Let's tidy this up. Officially, the first army is now fleeing, which is good news indeed. Now, these lads, you can fire at will, to be honest. I'm kind of happy for you to do that. Let's get these Norse archers while we have the opportunity. These guys are now fleeing towards the reinforcements, who are probably thinking, why are they running away? They are sticking very close to the walls, though, which does keep them as safe from towers as they can possibly be. You guys just need to stop and start shooting as much as possible. In fact, it looks like this is going to be a much better position because they are too close to those walls, unfortunately. But over here, oh, they are not in the best position. General is mopping up what he can, but he should get back in the walls now because their reinforcements are on their way. And you can probably see how a lot of these defense battles are going to go. Oh yeah, I mean, just a little hill here makes a huge difference. Being able to get the general's charge in effectively is massive. We barely lost anything at the gate, and they sent semi-axemen. Wow, we did very good work indeed. Even the old unit of peasants actually being quite useful right now. We're still getting a few shots in on these Norse archers as they flee. Can't chase them down properly, but we are at least getting some good damage into these dismounted Huskarls. Oh yeah, we need these guys to go down. And well, missiles aren't great in Medieval 2, or at least arrows aren't. Crossbows, oh, they would be lovely. Well, we'll get them at some point. But for now, let's not worry about any of that. We are doing some good work shooting them in the back, and I've got to fire arrows again simply because I want to get the morale penalties in this part of the world. This general can cause us a lot of problems, but what we need to do is, yeah, get the general charge in once again. Now, this is hopefully going to do the job. If we can get close down. Oh, he's right there. He is right there. Right, charge in. Charge in. And we'll get the charge in. And these Highlanders can come down off the walls in a moment, although they might go up the ladder. Unlikely. Defeat seems almost certain. I'm not quite sure about that, my good sir. Oh, here we come. This isn't a very good charge, is it, my good sir? No, you're supposed to charge down the hill properly, but winded, so not happening. Might blow the horn of destiny just to be sure, but we'll get in at this point. Fine. What have we got? Highlanders up on the wall. Come down and fight the general as well, please. You lads are... Actually, can you shoot into it from there? You can. That's good. Honestly, any morale penalties we can get, we might as well go for. Shoot into them as well. Building has been lost. Now, at this point, the rabble and the Highlanders here are taking a bit of damage. General is so close to the front, though. We hope we have to get him, surely. Our guy is going to pull back again because these guys are going to start pouring out of the walls. That should mean that their guy... Oh, he's right at the front. Kill him. Kill him. Are they going to go after the general, are they? Okay, that's not the worst thing in the world. We can get him more surrounded in a moment as these guys start coming out. Okay, you guys hold them in position. You guys hold them in position. You guys get into that general. We can chop him down. Honestly, if our guy dies, he's old and he's not going to last for too many battles. It's got a little bit closer than I wanted it to, but this second army was always the strong one. Down to 17. We are down to 21, so we're slightly winning, but it just comes down to who gets the general kill first. We did have him nicely pinned, but now I don't quite know where he's sitting. It's fine, we'll just take him out when we take him out. At the moment, though, they are piling through quite effectively. These guys are going to have to come and join us, I would say, at this point. It just comes down to this general. We need to kill him as quick as possible. Just get into that general, and the rest will break. Get into the general, please. Ugh! Yes, down he goes, and that hopefully will be the break that we're looking for. Everyone, start chopping down those Huskarls. We haven't done nearly as much damage as I would have liked, but we're doing okay. One unit of rabble has broken, but we have some breaks on them as well. Yes, we got mass break. We've got it. Victory, 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 victory. Looks almost sultan now. There we are. Continue the battle, chop them down. Well done, my good sir. We lost more than I wanted to there, but in the end, yeah, taking down a general is tough, tough work, but we got it done. Officially, it's a heroic victory. 200 odd men lost. Hopefully, some healed. Yeah, a few healed, but honestly, not an awful lot of the Highlanders, as many as I'd like anyway. But you know what? Victory done for experience game for the general. He really threw himself in there, didn't he? Okay, that is probably important for us moving forward, that we've just holding on to that. The Welsh. Oh, I love it. The Welsh are invading Castletown. Go and take the Isle of Man by all means. Loyalist revolt in Dublin. It's happened. It's happened, and County Trim is under attack as well in Meath. Okay, so, interesting. We've smashed up the place. Oh, lovely. We've got ourselves some Ulster swordsmen. It's an Ulster up north. Anyway, we'll take them anyway, and these guys who look awesome but are not very good. But we'll use them sensibly in wooded forests in the snow. Yes, wooded forests. I meant snowy forests, but you know, it's all good. Right, so this is problematic. Okay, what we're going to do is river, no river, that's a blue line, Thomas. I'm going to take that fort. And if we lose Dumfries, we lose Dumfries, but... Shut up, Jimmy. Yeah, if he gets to take Dumfries, we'll just go to take Dublin. So, Dublin? What am I even talking about? Glasgow. Anyway, let's go over to Dublin, since that's on my mind. Right, nothing else in Ireland right now? No. Trim is under attack. That's fine. Not much point of just sitting here, to be honest, with Dublin. But I wouldn't mind... Yes, that's the Irish faction leader. Okay. Probably worth swinging south rather than north in that case. It's a long road to Tipperary, but I guess that's where we're headed. So we're going to swing down here. In fact, I might just keep... do I want to keep one peasant behind? You know what? I will, just to vaguely hold on to it, but it's not the worst idea if we lose it and things. You know what? This is not something we're going to hold on to too much. Let's just gain... Is it worth gaining money? It's probably not. You know what? I shouldn't destroy the military infrastructure for future, because that gives me units, but I will destroy things that make it happy, so that when they get it back... Yeah, that's some thinking, Thomas. Yeah, when they get it back, it will revolt again. That's fine. We'll go with that. And we're causing unrest whilst we're there anyway. Now, luckily, it looks like they're going to head into Inverlochy, and we're going to lose that one, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Right, we'll see what they want to do. As for the rest of this nonsense, do we have anything else in England? Nothing else of interest. There's a peasant on that watchtower, as we know. What can we do with these guys? I suspect this southern area of England is a little bit weak, to be honest, so let's go and find out what's going on. We'll send out a scout just to see what's what, but in general, okay, we're doing okay in that part of the world, and we'll keep this over here. The English fort is fine. I like having the watchtower, and I'm quite happy throwing away a random peasant. Looks like the siege on Trim has been relieved, which is slightly worrying as I'm heading towards some of the Irish lands myself. We're on the road to Tipperary, of course, and just as we cross the border, yeah, there are some armies and, of course, a fort blocking the road. This is going to slow us down repeatedly, and as I said, time could be our friend here if we can use it quickly. But I suppose that makes time our enemy, doesn't it? Interlochy is 2 turns from surrender, but I think they are just going to charge in with 4 rams next time. Skye has a new army. That's just going to be what happens over there. Hopefully this guy lives forever. He picked up a couple nice traits here in the meantime. It'd be so nice to have some money, because there is so much we could do. It's quite frustrating, actually, because for the once, Medieval 2 generally don't have money as the rebels, and yeah, I can actually get troops. It's much easier than Rome, but in Rome I had money quite frequently, but rubbish selection or no troops that I could hire. So it's a bit of the old yin and yang. Now, as for all of this, I'm a bit concerned, to be honest, about the fact that I can't see anything. Okay. So, the assault on Glasgow is looking less likely right now. I think we need to repel this siege, and we need to then get some scout around and see what's going on. We'll do Tipperary next time. I think it's time to head to Oxford. So we've sent this army out to join, and there's Oxford. Oh, lovely. Now, I'm just going to blindly attack it. I have no idea what's going on, but we'll make it work for us. Yeah, okay. 3 ladders, a ram, and a tower. That is about perfect. We have Hudeler over here. He's 52. He's not going to die anytime soon. Spear militia and town militia. That should be simple enough. But you know what, ladies and gents? I think we will leave it here for today. It's been an interesting start. As I say, I'm quite concerned that this one is going to be the hardest of the campaigns. America's, I thought would be tricky because of the troop situation and some of the powerful, huge stack armies around. But I did have plenty of troops to start with, plenty of land here. I only really have these 2 bits of land to start with and a couple bits to hold on to. Still not had any boats pop up, which is a little bit concerning. I starting to worry I didn't actually change the game files. Maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. In which case I'll have to change it so that I can hire boats. Yeah, we'll have to work that one out. Anyway, if that's a problem, we'll get back to that at another point. But for now, let's not worry about any of that. For now, let's worry about the fact that we don't have an awful lot to play with here. We actually had no regions at the start of the Alexander campaign, if you recall. But that one, plenty spawned in. Not a huge amount has appeared so far, but we've had 1 Loyalist rebellion, but only 1 or 2 more turns until the English will get Baron Alliance revolts rather than English rebels per se, or rebels. So, this one is looking tricky, as I feared, but you know what? We've had some good victories, which is certainly the start we want. Hopefully the Norse will distract the Scottish enough that they'll start sending Prince Aribert over here up to the north and Inverness, but we will see about that. I will leave you for now, as I say. I hope you enjoy a brand new series. Be on every Monday for the foreseeable future. We'll see how long this campaign lasts for. Honestly, don't be surprised if this is the one where I lose, but I said that about the Americas. We may well find a way yet. For now, goodbye. I'm Thomas, this is Nerds Human, and this has been our Britannia campaign of Medieval 2 Total War, playing, of course, as the Rebels. Thank you, and bye-bye. They're bracing, but they're bracing in the wrong direction, which is probably for the best. Okay, they're turning around. No! It's too late! It's too late! There goes their general. That's another break, most likely. And there we are. That's how you chariot!